Today I'm going to demonstrate a technique of how to inlay a simple geometric shape. It's a great way to enhance your projects, and it's easier than it sounds. I inlaid these stretched diamonds into a tabletop I made recently, and I used the shaper origin to do the work. Today, I'll do it mostly by hand. Before we get started, I want to make a couple of points. First off, when I used the shaper, I used an 1/8 inch thick wood for the inlay, because the shaper was doing all the work. In this case, I'm going to be using veneer. Why? Because it's easier. It's my preference to cut the opening into the grounding to fit the piece I'm intending to inlay. This is especially true with complicated inlays. Here, I cut out the shape of the inlay from the veneer. Now I'm going to transfer the shape of the diamond into the grounding, which is a term for the wood into which you set your inlay. First, I trace the shape lightly with a pencil, and then with a knife. You can use a special single bevel knife if you wish, but I'm using a basic shop knife to show you that it works just fine that way. Now I cut the lines I scribed with the knife a bit deeper. I use a straight edge and cut from the terminal end of each line segment to its center. This keeps the corners sharp and me from accidentally extending beyond the shape and looking sloppy. With that done, take a close look at the lines you've scribed, and you may need to clean up a corner or two with a chisel. I like to use a wide chisel to do that. Now that I've successfully cut the perimeter of the diamond, now I need to remove the rest of the material. To do that, I'll use a router. A 1/4 inch or 3/8 inch straight bit is good for this operation. Remember in grade school when you had to learn how to color inside the lines? It will come in handy now. You might be asking how close to the inscribed lines I should be cutting with this router bit. The answer is as close as you can get without screwing it up. So, you be the judge. Now, I'm going to clean up the edges. Using a combination of a sharp chisel and a knife, clean up the pocket, cutting out to the perimeter lines. Test the fit of the inlay and make adjustments as needed. With the inlay now fitting nicely, it's time to glue it and clamp it in place. I like to use a non-stick surface like this melamine for the clamping caul. You may have noticed that I had not removed the paper on the inlay piece before I glued it. I find it easier to sand it off after the piece is secure in the grounding. After sanding it flush, you're done. Like many woodworking jobs, there's multiple ways to get this task done. I hope you enjoyed this technique and maybe learned a thing or two. I'm Rob Johnstone from Woodworker's Journal. Thank you for watching.